Welcome to Your World Within Daily. I'm Eddie Pinero. In this episode, we're going to talk about adversity and how we're presented with two options: to quit because of the situation or win despite the situation. So what do you do when things get difficult, right? When the world feels chaotic and the walls feel like they're crashing down around you, what is your response? Because we're pulled in two ways, right? I think the initial response is to sort of collapse under the pressure, to think, well, this is going on, so it's an easy way to rationalize stopping or doing something else or quitting. It's easy to tell a story of failure. It's easy to rationalize not doing the difficult thing. But the opportunity, right, the power, the transformation comes from being one of the few that when things really seem dire, to not back down, but get excited about the prospect of winning because of the situation, right? Understanding that very few people can and are willing to go down that road. And that is strictly the differentiator. When most crumble because of a situation, you build. And I remember the first time I learned that concept, I talk about it a lot. It's always, at the forefront of my decision making. I think about it all the time. I attribute, all the good things that have happened in my life to this concept. Being, week one as a rower in college, and, going through this grueling workout like I'd never had in my life, and feeling sorry for myself, and my coach just being like, look, This is par for the course. If you want to do this, right? That's what this sport is about. The question is, some people fold when the body meets its limitation, and some people push forward, and that always will differentiate the two. The mind controls how far the body is willing to go, and that goes everywhere. Right? When you're presented with a situation, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, you have to start from the premise that there is a way, period. You're not questioning whether it's possible. You're out looking for the formula, for the solution, right? If you know there is a way, then the question goes to how, not if. People quit when the question is if. Can I do this? Is there even a way? Is this possible? Will this work? Well, if you're unsure, if there's doubt, if that creeps in there and that stays, that's when the cost seems to be not worth the reward. But if if it's about arranging the puzzle piece, that's what makes the difference. Life will always present us with adverse situations. That's life. Right? Life is suffering. Life is chaos. And it's what you make of that disorder. It's how you arrange it. Do you let it bury you or propel you? Right? And the interesting thing is, no one knows but you. Right? I think about this all the time. I went on a really long run the other day, and it was actually a disaster, right? So I'm in Miami, and it was like a midday run. It was noon, and I'm like, I'm gonna go on a really long run. I haven't in a long time, and it was like the perfect storm, right? So I'm like 10 miles in. It's no longer cloudy. The sun comes out. My water bottle is empty. I'm feeling dizzy. I have 5 miles to go. It was like hell on earth. It was just a terrible experience, and I'm like, man. This is not what I expected. And I'm like struggling to get home. And I see other runners and I'm like, they have no idea what I went through, right? This journey is for me and for me alone. And that's what life is, right? No one knows what you went through yesterday or the day before. No one knows the adversities and the trials and the tribulations that have made you who you are. But you do. right? And understanding that those pieces ultimately come to define you. Again and again and again, you will be presented with this situation, with this fork in the road. Chaos emerges, right? Do you go back inside, or do you step out into that world? Do you make something of it? You have the ability and the potential to do the latter, right? But you have to operate on the how, not the if. It is possible. You can do it. You can make significant change. Arrange the puzzle pieces. Don't wonder if the puzzle, comes together at the end. It will if you decide it will. It's in the process. It's in standing up when most people look at what's in front of them and say no. That alone right there, will take you places that you never thought possible. Because the infinite, the top of the hill, the things we want most, they are the culmination of little yeses, of these tiny acts of courage. That's what comes to define us. All right. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoy this, please make sure you subscribe, rate, review. Helps me get it out to the world. And that means everything to me. So thank you for that. I've got an exciting video coming out this week. So I'll share it on YouTube and on the podcast. And hope you guys enjoy.